Hi, it's Celeste Majors, your canary in the coal mine. Today I wanted to talk to you about sunscreens. In the July issue of Consumer Reports, they have an article on sunscreens. And so I thought I would compare some of the top-rated sunscreens that Consumer Reports recommends against a website that I've told you about called EWG.org. EWG stands for Environmental Working Group. EWG rates products according to their health friendliness or environmental friendliness. So it's a wonderful website where you can find out all kinds of information on products, skincare products, shampoos, makeup, food. They put out the list that you've probably heard about, the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15, which foods are most heavily sprayed by pesticides and so forth. Anyway, if you're using your Consumer Reports to go out and buy sunscreen, I would check to see whether the sunscreen that you're expecting to buy, what the Environmental Working Group thinks about that sunscreen. For example, the second item listed here by Consumer Reports, they gave it an overall score of 99, so it was the second highest score. The first highest score was an outrageously expensive sunscreen that I don't think anybody but really rich people would buy. But the second one was the Walmart brand, Equate. So they have Equate Sport Lotion with an SPF of 50 as their second. It's a good money deal. It only costs 63 cents an ounce, and it gets a 99 on the Consumer Reports chart here. So I went to the EWG website to see, well, what does EWG think about if I went to the store to buy this brand? And it turns out that EWG rates sunscreens and all kinds of products on the basis of, how effective is it, and does it have toxic ingredients in it? And they were saying in their article on sunscreens that 3/4 of the sunscreens on the market are either ineffective or they have toxic ingredients in them, and that half of the sunscreens that are sold in America would not be allowed to be sold in Europe. Where have we heard that story before? So anyway, so I looked up this Equate Sport Lotion SPF 50 and found it on the EWG website, and it gives it a 5 rating out of 10, where 1 is the best score they could give it and 10 is the worst score they could give it. So it's about middling in scoring, not as nice as I'd like to see. And then if you click on the icon for that particular sunscreen, you could find out a lot more information about it. And as I scan down the things, what are their concerns? And they talk about several of the ingredients, like one of them they got a really low rating was oxybenzone, and they said that was like something they didn't like very much in a sunscreen. And then there's a couple of other ingredients that they gave it a 1, which means it's the best, but it also says there's they don't know very much about it. In other words, there's an ingredient that's in there, but there haven't been any identified concerns about it. So we don't know whether the research has never been done or whether it truly doesn't have anything to be concerned about. I don't know. The minute I see something that's called neopenyl glycol diheptanoate, I get a little concerned. It's one of those multi-syllable chemistry terms, and I'm wondering why is it in there? What function does it serve, and do I need that function? It could just be something for shelf life or something. And anyway, so I just wanted to say, before you buy a sunscreen or a lip balm or a moisturizer or any of those things that you're sort of buying because you want to protect yourself from the sun, I would say check the EWG website. Maybe go to the store and browse through the shelves and say, well, I would want to try this one or this one. Take the names down, go home, or check it on your smartphone right there in the store and find out whether it's a good value, a good balance between you're getting something that's useful and it's safe and it doesn't cost an arm and a leg unless you're really well fixed financially and you can afford an arm and a leg. So that's what I wanted to tell you today. It was a little and by all means, if you're buying sunscreen for kids, don't fall for the cute cartoon advertising tie-ins. Like the third one on the list here is the one that would have the Disney Frozen characters on the label. It says Pure Sun Defense Disney Frozen Lotion SPF 50. For sure, I would check out whether that's one that EWG recommends or at least passes before I'd smear it all over kids, because our skin is permeable. Whatever you put on the outside of your body goes into your body. So this is not the barrier that people used to think it was. And you don't want to be putting things on your scalp when you're shampooing. You don't want to use soaps. You don't want to use lotions or sunscreens or anything that has ingredients in it that your body would find to be toxic. So that's my health tip for today. Be careful with your sunscreens. You can see as you look at me that I don't wear very much sunscreen, that I have a goal, in fact, to raise my vitamin D levels. So I'm using the old-fashioned method of actually getting into the sun, letting myself get tan, watching my vitamin D levels, doing wonderful things. And I just think that the human body was designed to be out in the sun. We are living in an artificial environment when we live indoors all the time. So that's my philosophy. It doesn't have to be yours. But I wanted to say, if you're using sunscreens, please be safe with them. So that's it for today. I want you to get well and stay well. Thank you.